Welcome back to Grace Daily Motivation. In today's video, we'll be exploring one of the greatest stories in the Bible, the man who fought with God. This story is a powerful and inspiring tale of perseverance, faith, and redemption that has captivated readers for centuries. So, sit back, relax, and let's dive in. Background: the man who fought with God is a story that comes from the book of Genesis in the Bible. It tells the story of Jacob, a man who had struggled his entire life. Jacob was a twin, and he was born holding onto the heel of his brother Esau, which earned him the nickname heel grabber. From a young age, Jacob was determined to overcome his challenges and succeed in life. Jacob's life was marked by constant struggle and challenge. He was always striving for something better and was willing to do whatever it took to achieve his goals. He was clever and resourceful, but he was also known for being deceptive and manipulative. He had a contentious relationship with his brother Esau, who he had tricked out of his birthright and blessing. The encounter with God. One night, Jacob had a life-changing encounter with God. He was on his way to meet his estranged brother Esau, whom he had wronged many years before. Jacob was alone, and he wrestled with a man throughout the night. As daybreak approached, the man touched Jacob's hip and put it out of joint, but Jacob refused to let go. He demanded a blessing from the man, who revealed himself to be God. This encounter was a pivotal moment in Jacob's life. It marked a turning point in his relationship with God and his own identity. By wrestling with God, Jacob was able to confront his own shortcomings and limitations. He was able to demonstrate his strength and his faith, and this would have far-reaching consequences. The name change. God told Jacob that his name would no longer be Jacob but Israel, which means one who struggles with God. This name change represented a turning point in Jacob's life. He had wrestled with God and emerged victorious, and he was now a changed man. The name Israel had profound significance in the ancient world. It was a name that represented strength and perseverance in the face of adversity. It was a name that would come to be associated with the Jewish people and their identity as a people who had struggled and persevered through centuries of hardship. The meaning. The story of Jacob wrestling with God has many meanings. One interpretation is that it represents the struggle that all humans face in their relationship with God. It shows that faith is not a smooth and easy path, but rather one that requires struggle and perseverance. This story teaches us that our relationship with God is not always going to be easy. It is a journey that will require us to confront our own limitations and struggles. It is a reminder that our faith is not something that we can take for granted, but rather something that we must work for and cultivate. The redemption. Another interpretation of the story is that it represents redemption. Jacob was a man who had made many mistakes in his life, but he was given a second chance. God saw potential in him and chose to bless him, even though he had been dishonest and deceitful in the past. This is a powerful reminder that no matter how far we have strayed from the right path, we can always turn back and be redeemed. This story shows us that redemption is possible even in the face of great adversity. It reminds us that no matter how many mistakes we have made in the past, we can always strive to be better and work towards a brighter future. The lesson. The story of the man who fought with God has many valuable lessons that we can apply to our own lives. One crucial lesson is to never give up, even when we face challenges and obstacles. Jacob's persistence and determination to wrestle with God all night and not let go paid off in the end, as he received a blessing from God. This teaches us that we should never give up on our dreams, goals, or beliefs, even when it seems like we're not making progress. The power of faith. Another significant lesson from the story is the power of faith. Jacob's encounter with God revealed to him that there was something more significant than himself at work in the world. This realization gave him the strength and courage to face his fears and make amends with his brother. It shows us that faith can be a source of inner strength and resilience that helps us overcome our fears and obstacles. Overcoming fear. The story of the man who fought with God also teaches us about overcoming fear. Jacob was afraid of his brother and the potential harm he might cause him. However, he chose to face his fear head-on and make amends with his brother. This teaches us that we should not let fear control our actions or decisions, and instead, we should confront our fears and find ways to overcome them. The importance of forgiveness. Forgiveness is another crucial lesson from the story. Jacob had wronged his brother in the past, but he chose to seek forgiveness and reconcile with him. This reminds us that forgiveness is a vital component of any healthy relationship. It allows us to move forward from past mistakes and conflicts and strengthen our relationships with others. The role of God's grace. The story of the man who fought with God also highlights the role of God's grace in our lives. Jacob had made many mistakes in his life, but God still chose to bless him and give him a new name. This teaches us that God's grace is always available to us, no matter how far we have strayed from the right path. It also reminds us that we should not give up on ourselves or others because of past mistakes. The consequences of sin. Another important theme in the story of the man who fought with God is the consequences of sin. Jacob had made many mistakes in his life, including deceiving his brother and father. These mistakes had consequences, and Jacob was forced to live with the repercussions of his actions. However, through his encounter with God, Jacob was able to find redemption and forgiveness. This is a powerful reminder that even when we make mistakes, we can find forgiveness and redemption through God's grace. The importance of persistence. Another lesson we can learn from Jacob's story is the importance of persistence. Jacob could have given up during his long and difficult night of wrestling, but he persisted and refused to let go until he received a blessing from God. This persistence paid off in the end, as Jacob emerged from the encounter with a new name and a renewed sense of purpose. This is a powerful reminder that persistence and determination can help us overcome obstacles in our own lives. The transformative power of God. The story of Jacob wrestling with God is ultimately a story of transformation. Through his encounter with God, Jacob was transformed from a deceitful and struggling man into a faithful and determined one. This transformation was not just physical, but also spiritual and emotional. This is a reminder that God has the power to transform our lives and help us become the people we were meant to be. Application to modern life. We can apply the story of the man who fought with God to our modern lives in many ways. One way is to recognize that we all face struggles in life, but these struggles can make us stronger if we persevere. We can also learn to face our fears and seek forgiveness when we have wronged others. Additionally, the story reminds us of the importance of never giving up on our beliefs, dreams, or goals. The power of prayer. Prayer is another important lesson from the story. Jacob's encounter with God happened because he was willing to wrestle with him and not let go until he received a blessing. This teaches us that prayer can be transformative and bring us closer to God. We can find comfort and strength in prayer and use it as a tool to deepen our faith and spirituality. The importance of transformation. The story of the man who fought with God also emphasizes the importance of transformation. Jacob was a man who had made mistakes and struggled his whole life, but through his encounter with God, he was transformed into a new person. This transformation is possible for all of us, no matter where we are in life. It reminds us that we can change for the better and become the best version of ourselves. The need for trust. Finally, the story reminds us of the importance of trust. Jacob had to trust that God had a plan for him, even when things seemed uncertain. We too can learn to trust in God's plan for our lives, even when we don't understand it. Trusting in God's plan allows us to let go of worry and anxiety. In conclusion, the man who fought with God is one of the greatest stories in the Bible, and it has many important lessons for us to learn. It teaches us about the power of faith, the importance of persistence, the consequences of sin, and the transformative power of God. It is a story of redemption, forgiveness, and transformation that has inspired people for centuries. I hope this video has helped you gain a deeper understanding of this powerful story and how it can apply to your own life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.